Right on. Yeah, I'm Dan. I'm the Dan Cleary, I guess, full name. Um, I'm the singer and I guess the longest member of the band. Been in the band since the start. Uh, we've been around since we formed in 2007. I mean, we didn't really do anything until 2009 ish, but just screwing around, being like high school kids for the first couple years. And yeah, the Ultrapower is our new album, and it is coming out February 2nd, and it is our seventh album.
That it
If
is,
you can believe
Dan.
that.
Thanks for joining us today, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
My pleasure. So, as you say, man, strike a return with your seventh studio album, Ultrapower, on February the 2nd. So, how are you feeling about it?
I'm super pumped. I'm really excited to get it out. We recorded it. I guess it was like early last year, so like February, March, and it's always nice. You sit on the album for a long time. It's always nice to finally get it out and see how people are liking it and stuff like that. I still really like it. There's been albums that we've recorded that by the time it comes out, you're kind of sick of it, but I'm still digging this one. I think there's a lot of different types of songs and stuff, so it's uh it's never too boring, I guess.
Yeah, cool. So, on those lines, man, like you say, it's been done since around February last year. So, it's about 12 months it's been done for now. Like, how do you go in that 12-month period? Like, do you listen back to it and go, fuck, I could have done this, or I should change that? Or do you just put it to bed and move on? Or,
I mean, you kind of always do that stuff, but I feel like after doing it 7 times, we're sort of like, we know what to expect. I think the first couple we did, we look back and we are just like, oh God, we should have gone to record in this studio, or we shouldn't have recorded that song or whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, even on this album, there's still some grumbling from some people being like, we should have put that more brutal song on there, or like, that kind of thing. But I mean, that's always going to happen.
yeah, true. So, tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view, bro, and what you're going for with it.
This one's kind of interesting because we haven't put out an album since 2018, and we spend a lot of time writing music just because we like doing it, and we ended up with a lot of songs, like a lot of ideas from all over the place. And it's like, you can imagine over the span of like 5 years, um, your listening tastes change. It's like you get into certain, it's like, oh, I was really into like Toto for a while, and it was like, oh, you can hear where that is in the album, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, then I kind of transitioned over. I was listening to like deathcore type stuff, and then there's a little bits and pieces of that. So it's like, it's interesting because it's sort of like a collection of everything we were kind of listening to, that was inspiring us as far as writing goes over that course of 5 years. So there's a lot of different stuff. I mean, even all the way to like a full-on synthwave production song on there. So it's like, it's all over the place.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned that 5 years, mate, and the songwriting, but was 5 years is a long time in the modern age between albums. So was there anything else you focused on specifically for this album?
You mean like,
Anything you paid extra attention to sort of make it take a bit longer?
oh yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things about this one was, I mean, the reason why it took so long was COVID. Basically, it was like that, just like, we were touring and stuff, and then of course, that all that stuff happened, and we just kind of got derailed. But the main difference with this album is the last three we self-produced, so we recorded them at home and sent them out to get mixed. This time we actually went into the studio with Josh Schrader, who does like Lorna Shore and lots of deathcore stuff like that. And so that's a big difference for this one, because it's nice to have someone, like a third party there listening and being like, this is shit, this is good, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's hard to do yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's luckily the band works together pretty well, but I mean, it can still be pretty difficult if people have different ideas about certain things and that kind of stuff.
So the last album you brought out in 2018, Play to Win, was a Juno winning album, mate. So did that put any extra pressure on you with this one, knowing that that one was so successful?
Yeah, man, we peaked.
Downhill from here.
Yeah, it's just all downhill from here. Yeah, I don't know, not really. I think it's the Juno is like a cool credit to us, and uh it's really cool. But I mean, like, ultimately our biggest like reward as a band has always been like playing live, seeing people come to the show, getting stoked on the show. So um I think we will be more excited when people know the lyrics to the new stuff, that kind of thing. But so not we didn't have like didn't feel like we had a lot of pressure. It would be sick to win another one. There's another band from Vancouver, Unleash the Archers,
Yep.
friends of ours, and we won a Juno before them. They won the year after. So we
Okay.
so we like kind of hold that. We're like, look, we did that first. And then now it's like, well, who can win a
Get
second
the
one?
next one.
Right. So,
So as a bandmate, like is there ever a temptation on your next album to rehash that winning formula on the one before?
um I maybe I don't know. I don't think we ever really paid attention too much to that. It's like, I mean, we sort of just like all our albums are flops, so we may as well just keep going,
Yeah.
just do whatever we want, really. I mean, we don't have we're an independent band, so we don't have any label like being like you should do this way or whatever. So we just kind of do whatever we want.
Cool. So for this album, mate, you've already released the single "Circle of Evil," the best of the best of the best, which is a great title, and "Give It All." Like, are they a good sonic representation of what to expect from the whole album?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I think it's funny because we've always had like a contingency of fans who are like they want to hear like the old school, like the speed metal type
Yeah.
stuff that we did some more of that in like the earlier days. Um, and we didn't release the songs that are like that yet. So it's
Right.
like they're like, oh, it's like the sky is falling. It's like the band is not doing anything fast or shred or whatever, and like we're like, oh, just wait. There are some on the album. We didn't
Right.
totally disregard that, because I mean that's still a big part of um like who we are as like metal fans, is like, we're never gonna not like thrash and speed metal. It's just, you know our horizons are broadening, I guess.
Yeah. And then the old school people hate to hear that, don't they? Like, no, they can't broaden their horizons. It's not allowed.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think we on this one, the song Blood Magic is probably our most like King Diamond esque song we've ever done. And it's like that'd be a surprise to people who listen to like Give It All, for example, or even Best of the Best of the Best. It's kind of like, more like I guess, for lack of a better term, poppy in a way. But like I think they'll be pleasantly surprised with some of the songs on the album.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned "Give It All," mate. Like, that's a great song, but it's different in the fact that it features a lot of saxophone in it, which isn't purist metal, I guess you could say. But what was the thought process there?
That one's just like uh influenced by stuff like like Eddie Money. That's like a big one.
Yeah, yeah,
Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight.
yeah.
Like that kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, it's not really metal, but it's like in this world of like, I don't know. I guess it's more just like in the 80s style, where, not necessarily metal, but like we're sort of hooked on everything. Like I'm a big, like, we love Huey Lewis, and like I said, Toto and stuff like that. So all that AOR and that kind of like pop rock from the 80s is really influential for us as well. So I mean, for us, it makes sense. But, if you're like a diehard speed metal guy who does not fuck with Huey Lewis, then yeah, you might not like that one.
Oh, I love it, bro. Like, who can't have a bit of sax every now and then?
Yeah, why not?
And this album also welcomes new member and longtime friend John Simon Fallen. So, what did he bring to the sound of the album, the sound of the band?
Um, it was great working with Simon. He's yeah, like obviously been a long time friend of the band, and he was in the band when our other guitar player and uh, one of the founding members of the band, Chris, had left. Simon came in. Chris came back. then Chris left, and then Simon came back, and then this time it worked out that he was actually able to play on an album. Like he did lots of touring with us, but he's a great guitar player. Some of the best guitar solos in our band's history, I think he's put down on the new album. So
Right.
really, really excited for that.
And we've touched on this a bit, mate, but there's many influences on the album, ranging from speed metal to hardcore to hair metal to Steely Dan, deathcore. Like, were you ever mindful that there might be a little bit too much variety on there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've thought about that. I mean, I've definitely had like pushback from like friends of mine who are just like, bro, you can't put hardcore riffs in, like, no one's gonna like that. No one's gonna like both. And we're sort of just like, well, whatever, let's try it and see. If it really sucks, then we'll know. I mean, part of working with the producer was like, he can be maybe the guy to be like, you know what, that is really not cool or whatever, So I don't think it's too far off. And I think for us, we've always thought like we're pushing the boundaries so far. We're like, oh, it's so crazy what we're doing. And then when we look back on it, we're like, this just sounds like a normal Striker album. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it wasn't that crazy.
But with all those sort of different styles and varieties on there, I guess, like when it came time to putting the track listing together for the album, like did you have to like pay extra attention to make sure there's the flow to a sense, or did you just throw them in and let everyone go on a journey?
Yeah, I mean, we tinkered around with the I mean, I think a lot of it was like we wanted sort of the songs that we thought were the best to be right at the front. That's sort of typical, but yeah, I mean, it's like building a like a live set when you're playing. It's like you don't have too many of the slow songs in a row, or it's just like, come on, get on with it. You know what I mean? So we try and switch it between. It'll be like, sort of the more faster one, then the saxophone one, and then like, maybe something that's heavier or something, like something like that, just to break it up.
Yeah, all right. So the album comes out February 2nd, which is only a couple of weeks away. So what's next for Striker after that?
We're looking at getting some tours. We got some shows booked for next year, or this year, I guess it is now. And
Come up quick.
Time flies. And yeah, just getting out and touring. It's been a long time. Like last year we didn't get a lot of touring done just because it's been like, hectic getting the album together. Doing it all ourselves is kind of just like, oh man, there's a lot of stuff to get done. So yeah, we're excited to get back out on the road and tour. I mean, that's sort of like the payoff. It's like, we love recording and stuff like that. And then, there's all this work you have to put in. And then it's like, oh, the payoff is you get to go out and actually play and have like, have a good time and stuff. So excited to like actually get out and especially play some of the new songs. So.
Very cool. All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Dan. It's been a pleasure. The album Ultrapower is out February the 2nd, and I can attest to the fact that it has got a bit of everything on it, but it works well, bro. It sounds really good. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, man.
No worries. Enjoy the day, mate. Stay out of that cold.
I do have one question though.
Well, shoot.
So I saw this video. What is a VB?
It's a beer.
It's just a beer?
Yeah.
Is that like a
stands for Victoria Bitter. So it's made in Victoria, and it's a bitter beer. So it's just Australians are lazy. You find they don't like saying the full words of anything. If we can abbreviate anything at all, we will.
Nice. Yeah, it's on video, and I wasn't sure if that was like if that's like the kokanee or something of.
Well, we're that lazy when it comes to stuff, mate. Like we've got a beer called 4X. It's just written XXXX. It's called 4X. That's 4X. How lazy we are.
Nice. Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. I don't know. I saw a video a VB long neck or something like that.
Yeah, a long neck is just like, so the stubbies are about 375 mil. A long neck is just a tallie, so it's about 750 mil. So all right. It's got a long neck because its neck's long. It's like a giraffe. We're very basic and simple over here, mate. Don't ever think or overanalyze anything from Australia, because the easiest option is always the one.
I mean, it's not that different from here in Canada, I think. So
I think that's why Canadians and Australians get on so well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We're both like the simple things and beer.
Yeah, we do a good job hiding our Canadianisms in interviews usually, but it's like
Canadian.
we definitely do the like, you know, fucking A, you know, that kind of shit. So
Cool. Well, hopefully you get out of here on tour soon, mate. We get to have a BB together.
yeah, that would be great.
All right, bro. Until then, take care, stay wrapped up, keep warm.
All right, you too, man.
All right, bro. Have a good day.
See ya.